My name is Fiona Braka, and I am the World Health Organization country representative to Ghana. I have been here for the past 10 months, but I have served in the World Health Organization for over 20 years in different capacities in different countries, and I'm happy to be here in Ghana leading the team in WHO. My education was majorly in my home country, Uganda, where I started my early childhood education, did my secondary school in boarding school in Uganda, and then my university degree, the first degree in medicine at the main university in Uganda, Makerere University. And then I proceeded to do postgraduate studies in the United States of America, where I did a master's in public health. Education to me was very foundational, and it is one aspect that I believe has brought me to where I am today. Through school, I was able to learn a lot of the basics about life. And, growing up, you sometimes see this as a ritual, a routine. Everyone has to go to school, you need to study, you need to pass your exams. And sometimes you don't see the big picture, you do not see the importance until much later on. So looking back, I connect the dots that it allowed me to learn the basics, but also it exposed me to a number of things, a number of people that I still interact with today, either as friends or as colleagues or as mentors. It exposed me not just to learning basics, but even picking up skills around communication, around problem solving. And it also gives me the confidence, you can stand strong and proud knowing that you are educated, you have degrees that matter. And as you become a professional later on in life, you realize that the education sets the basis for which you can build a career. People that are assigned to teach, to be educators to us, are an important group of people. It takes a special skill to teach, to be patient, to encourage. And so I value educators, and I think that we do not give them enough credit for what they do to us, for what they do to our children. But I see that group of people as extremely important for individual growth, but also societal growth. And so educators are extremely important. So are mentors. And personally, I have benefited a lot from mentors in different dimensions, from a career perspective, from a social or family perspective, from a financial perspective, from a spiritual perspective. There is always someone who has walked the path that you are walking or that you aspire to walk. And there is no better teacher besides experience than someone who has gone through that path and can be able to advise you. You can cut the chase significantly just by reaching out to people, to seeking advice. So mentors for me, it's a part of my life. We had a teacher in our school, the chemistry teacher, extremely knowledgeable, and she understood that it's a complex subject. And what I liked about her is she took her time and she tried to simplify the concepts of chemistry. So very difficult. I still till today I see chemistry as quite difficult, but you know, trying to break it down in the very simple terms that we could relate with, but most of all the patience with me, with all of us, because many times at the end of the lesson we just did not know what we had learned. And you know, a good teacher will try to recap and try to gauge the audience and ask questions, and there were many times that we did not have answers even at the end of the lesson, and should say, okay, let's pause for today, we will do this again in the next session. Or she would even set time on a weekend to come back and just take us through again step by step. So for me, it was that patience, that resilience, that encouragement to simplify a subject because you wanted your students to understand. And I think of her fondly, and like other teachers, you know, who do the same, that this requires a very special skill. And it's not for her, it wasn't just about finishing the syllabus, but really making sure that we understood. So that for me stands out among many others. Excellent education is one that fulfills the purpose it intends, but also, I believe, one that is applicable to what we are doing, to the world in which we live in. I see the world is changing rapidly, and the education that we give to students, whoever is learning, really needs to adapt to the realities of the present day. And it cannot be static. It needs to continually adapt and be flexible. There are basic principles, definitely. But if we cannot connect education to practicalities, to addressing modern day challenges, finding solutions, meeting up with the modern age, with the digital world, with all that is happening currently, we will be doing a disservice to those that want to learn. I know growing up there were subjects that we took and we did them because we had to do them. But when I think about it today in this present age, I can only hope that there is some evolution in the way education is moving. And I believe that we need to have basic concepts of understanding the world, the way we got to where we are, but we also need to be forward thinking. The role of peer networks cannot be underestimated. The work we do is based on human interaction. People leading people, people making change. It's all connected around people. And so human interaction is extremely important. Peer networks, professional associations, professional networks are all means of connecting with people at different levels. So I've certainly found the the role of networks extremely important in the field that we are in. And as the World Health Organization, we have several connections with different networks. We realize that it takes a whole movement, it takes a whole village, as we say, to raise people, but to also impact and to also bring about change. So everyone has a role to play, and we find that by working through networks, we are able to advocate more, we are able to reach more people with different backgrounds, with different skills, with different connections. One of our main roles here in Ghana is to promote health. And by promoting health, it means that we have to reach out. We have to make people understand the importance of health and how they can protect themselves, what role they can play at individual level, family, community, and as a nation. And that requires a lot of networking. So it's helpful from a professional work dimension, but also individually. For me, the networks have been extremely important in opening doors and pushing forward ideas, getting advice, connecting with people. I cannot underestimate the importance of networking in my own profession, and it's something that I would encourage everyone to learn to be comfortable with. My advice to young people about education is that get an education. Do not underplay the importance of education. Education is not just about exams. It's not just about passing exams. Education gives you knowledge. Education exposes you to a wealth of information. That is what we need to get by. Knowledge is power. And so do not see education as just a ritual to go through, to pass exams. Get the most out of your education.